For decades, the medical establishment maintained a strict consensus. A human being attempting to run a single mile in under 4 minutes would experience a total physical shutdown. Experts claimed the heart would literally explode under the strain. On May 6, 1954, Roger Bannister proved them wrong. He crossed the finish line in Oxford at 3:59.4. He didn't collapse and he didn't die. Within 12 months of Bannister's record, 37 other athletes broke the 4-minute mile. The following year, over 300 more runners achieved the same feat. Human biology does not evolve in a single calendar year. These runners didn't suddenly develop stronger legs or larger lungs. The barrier existed in their minds rather than their muscles. The psychological ceiling shattered for everyone the exact moment a single person proved that the limit was imaginary. This dynamic carries over into classrooms and offices. Biologically, you share the exact same neurological hardware as the people around you. Yet, some people glance at a complex problem and find the solution effortlessly, while others reread the same page 4 times without retaining a single word. This discrepancy reflects the psychological software running in the background. The beliefs you accept about your own abilities act as invisible ceilings, dictating the specific limits of your reality. Human output is governed by a mechanical cycle of 4 interconnected stages: beliefs, actions, potential, and results. Consider a student carrying a negative belief, such as, "I am bad at math." This is the initial input for the entire loop. This input dictates the next stage. Expecting failure, the student avoids studying or exerts minimal effort because the system assumes hard work is a waste of energy. Minimal action prevents the brain from accessing its true capacity. The system caps the tapped potential at a fraction of what is actually available. The resulting poor grade is inevitable. That data then feeds back into the start of the loop, confirming the student's suspicion that they were never good at math to begin with. Continuous failure is the result of a perfectly functioning mechanical loop running on bad code. Medicine provides clear proof of how the mind can overwrite physical limitations through the placebo effect, a phenomenon where a patient's condition improves simply because they expect a treatment to work. In the 1940s, doctors gave cancer patients plain sugar water, telling them it was a potent new drug. In some cases, the patient's tumors literally disappeared. Their belief signaled the body to deploy its own internal defenses. If a subconscious belief can command the immune system to physically dissolve a tumor, it utilizes that same biochemical influence to regulate the neurochemistry of focus and memory. Neurochemistry is the specific balance of chemicals in the brain that governs how your neurons communicate. The failure loop has a specific vulnerability. Beliefs are distinct from facts. If a belief were objectively true, it would be an undeniable fact that everyone agreed upon. Most limiting labels are acquired accidentally. They usually stem from a single childhood moment, a frustrated teacher, an impatient parent, or one isolated failure. The brain mistakenly files these subjective opinions into its objective fact folder and treats them as permanent laws of nature. Holding on to these labels is a choice. To change the results of the cycle, you must audit those files and delete the ones causing the error. Rewriting your system follows a 4-step framework: identifying the bug, auditing the code, assessing the cost, and installing the patch. First, isolate the limiting label. Then, search for one exception where that label wasn't true. If you believe you have a bad memory, but recall every name in a movie's credits, the code is faulty and belongs in the trash. Next, visualize the long-term damage of keeping that negative label. Once you see the cost, you can replace the error with a new, empowering label. You can assign yourself a gifted label without permission or external authority. The moment you choose to believe in your own potential, the cycle reverses and your actions begin compounding into success.